No, we're supposed to do the threes. Good afternoon to the Let's Clear the Tea fans, family, and folks out there. I'm KB. We have our special guest. Mind introducing yourself?
My name's Denise.
Just Denise, I'm glad.
Just Denise.
So, I know it's been a while since we have been going live. We have so many complications with family life, personal life. Sometimes Facebook gives us issues. Crystal and Dom, Pink Crystal, and Dominion, our co-host, was unable to make it tonight due to some personal life circumstances and situations. So I know last week we counseled. We were supposed to go live last week. Today we're going live. And I, again, KB, with a special guest Denise. And our topic tonight is using hardship and paying for healing. I think this is really near and dear to both of our lived experiences, and we can speak more about it later in this topic, and we just, have a good conversation. Again, Pink Crystal and Adam send their gratitude for you guys coming, and we're growing. We're still at 3,100 plus, and we're really appreciative to our followers, our fans, our family, and those who are in big support of the podcast. I think they will be on later on tonight. Right now, they're still dealing with a few things, but the show must continue. And again, we have a special guest. We want to talk about a lot of cool things when it comes down to hardships and pain and healing. But would you like to add anything?
I'm sure I will.
So we can get started. And again, whenever y'all start coming in, y'all can comment your experience, because we're open to all people lived experiences, and everyone is, welcome here. And we know that everyone who has either experienced hardships and pain or both at the same time, those times are really tough for us, and we don't get the lesson right then and there. I think the lesson is the whole experience, and after we get over that mountain of pain, after we get over that healing stage, after we get over the hardship stage, we can look back over our life and realize, hey, we can heal from these, we learn from these, and use pain as a teacher, not just as a burden. We learn so much from pain, and I'm talking more so about emotional pain, social pain. Some people can say physical pain. We never know what people go through. Whatever pain looks like to you, or how you experience pain, every pain is unique to everyone, and yeah, I think we are going to learn a lot during a little conversation, but again, it's going to be a good conversation. So what we normally do, we have to give you updates. Again, we will take our videos, our live videos on Facebook. It will probably be up for a few days, but we would normally we move it to our YouTube channel now, because Facebook had changed their policies where they only have it for 30 days. So all our hard work and all our videos that we did before, a lot of them has been gone. So there's no way of us getting it. So yeah, but right now we know what we can do now to make this a more sufficient and effective way in growth. So yeah, there's a lot. Forgive me. So we're gonna start it off. You want to add anything, our beautiful guest? So the topic again is using hardship and pain for healing. Wherever you float your boat, wherever you like to share, discuss, whatever's laid on your heart, your spirit, whatever you have to say, just lay it on us. We are here for it. We are here to have a conversation about it.
Well, I know in my life I'm not shy about my age. I am 65 years old, and my background is in terms of spirituality is pagan. I have not always been pagan. I've said I'm a recovering Christian.
Well, yeah.
Which I always get that response from people when I had a Facebook page. I used to put heretic in terms of my religion because the other thing I used to put down was label resistant because I don't like that either. I don't have anything against the religion. It was the dogma I didn't like. Christianity gave me a great deal, but the structure I didn't much care for. The judgments I didn't much care for. And that created its own type of pain in judgment, the mental anguish, the judgment that was created there created some types of pain. Because I didn't feel like I fit. I didn't fit. I didn't find my tribe, and I traveled a great deal. I was a military kid, and I didn't fit in anywhere. I didn't have a home. I had neither roots nor wings. I didn't grow up with people that I knew all my life, and I kept moving. And I didn't have people I was rooted to. So it's always been very difficult not having kind of my own family, my own friends. And you know, there's various books out like The Body Keeps Score and things like that. You have memories that you acquire.
Right.
Or don't acquire. And I think it parks itself in your mental and spiritual being. And I think as you get older, things like that just park itself into your physicality too. And you take those memories into your future relationships, whether you actually realize it or not.
I see where you're coming from when it comes down to that aspect of organized religion and how that actually caused so much trauma for people and pain and hardships for a lot of individuals. Definitely when you have a creed that's, a lot of people, creeds provide purposes for people to come as communities, but it also restricts things.
Right.
And it can be really restrictive because I was raised in an intra-faith. When I say intra-faith, family, not interfaith, like different people from different religions, but more so, I was raised in a evangelical fundamentalist church, and the other side of my family, my other side of the family, were Jehovah's Witnesses. Yes. Jehovah's Witnesses and church people. And you would think that they're under one umbrella. I believe they're still Christians. Both are still Christians. How they interpret scriptures, how they interpret their beliefs, and how they structure everything together is, you can see some similarities there, but you can also see some different doctrines. And that's dealing with dogma. I'm not a big fan of dogma. Dogma hurts people. I don't have an issue with religion at all. Like you say, you're a recovering Christian. I'm deconstructing my old faith, and I would say it's nothing wrong with, looking at your old faith again. We come to community full of different people and their backgrounds. We even had talking about that today at our church congregation community. People say it and interpret it differently. How did their spiritual path lead them to UU? So I haven't shared. I was actually the greeter, greeting people in, but it seems like I had a good conversation. A lot of people come here for different reasons and purposes. So when it comes down to my pain and healing hardship, it's kind of hard to be a part of something that says it's all about love, right? Teaching the teaching of Christ is about loving and being kind and compassionate to your neighbor. But when you go to the churches, it's the opposite. It's like hypocrites. It's like, and it's kind of paining me, because you're trying to love everyone, which is kind of, you try to. It's hard. It's really hard to love everyone. Trust me. I'm not a full Trump supporter at all. And people say, love everyone. And I'm like, whoo, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Yeah.
But that ties back down to the hardships and pain, because again, some of that pain does come from spiritual abuse, religious dogma, and I would say I am a deconstructionist of a Christian faith. Even though I go to the Bible all the time and try to figure it out, because my thing is, when I try to understand the Bible, I understand it more so in a cultural, contextual understanding of a scholar. Like, I looked at the Bible scholarly when I was doing school and as I was practicing the faith. And when I left the black church, I realized the black church is not living up to the teachings of Christ. And my understanding, they keep talking about Christ saves, but they always condemning people. They condemn and judge gay people. They condemn and judge people who are from a different religion. I was at the park the other day, and there was this woman out praying. She was praying out plugged on a speaker, and my niece and nephews, they was out there playing, minding their business, and it's black people, Hispanic people, Latino people, Arab people, Muslims, all out there in the park just minding our business, and this person is praying. And I get the intent, because you want to pray. I don't know what her intentions were, but as I was listening to her prayer, I kept getting something in my head that's saying she's technically going against Christ. Christ never told you to go out there in public to pray. As a matter of fact, he talks against it in certain situations. But she started condemning and talking bad about other people's faith and religion. That's that dogmatic part. It's like she was saying, because there was Muslims out there. I don't know if she saw a Muslim walk by, but she talking about Muhammad's not going to save you. Buddha's not going to help you. The other guys out there are false gods. It's like, is your prayer sincere to heal this nation? Or is it to condemn other people who does not believe and think like you do? Or be a part of your dogma? And it's just like, it's sad because this world is full of hate and not enough love. They always want to give people more pain and traumatize people. And I felt like I was traumatized by that prayer, to be honest. It wasn't healing for me. Because it's condemning people and you're being condescending to people. And it's not showing that you really love them because you was condemning if they wasn't a part of your faith. And that can actually bring pain and heartache for someone. And we want to figure that out and try to, heal from that. So how can I heal from somebody's prayer like that? I look into myself, reflect, how is that helping me? If it's not helping me, it's not for you. But I was raised evangelical, so I know I was in her position before and spoke like that and did that. And there's a lot of people who want to read the Bible and believe it is for like them to proselytize or what's the word I'm looking for?
Witness.
Witness, yes, witness. So they feel like they're witnesses. These are fundamentalists who take the Bible literally. I did that, but once I became more academic understanding of it, and some of the words and readings of that we learned from that, it's a lot different. And we got to take into context the authorship, everything in time, like time period. People keep talking about gay people shouldn't be together because Leviticus says so. How many people are eating pork chop sandwiches? That's part of the Leviticus code, right? How many people are dressing in different linen, different clothes? A lot of people, which is seen as an abomination. But we don't hold those parts to ourselves or other people. we take those parts out of context and then attack people because we feel like we're trying to be more superior. When you do that, you're causing pain. You're causing hardship for someone else. You're supposed to love your neighbor regardless of who they are. It doesn't. I heard somebody say, "Yeah, he said love your neighbor, but it doesn't mean you have to accept everything they do." Love your neighbor. Why do y'all want to keep talking against Christ and His word?
That's a judgment when you don't accept.
Exactly.
It's making a judgment.
And Christ is about inclusivity because grace, love, and mercy is for everyone. You don't get to choose and pick which person is
Except you.
except you, who's worthy of.
And you, and especially not you. Yeah.
And I can see that why that caused a lot of people pain on a spiritual.
And you're gay, especially.
Especially not you. When you had an abortion, especially not you.
Yeah, give me that rock. Yeah.
But it's a lot of judgmental. It's a lot of judgmental spirits. A lot of people stoning people. And I'm like, if you have not sinned, don't cast that stone. And clearly, it says so. You can't condemn. Even Christ told the lady who was caught in adultery. He looked at her and said, "Neither do I condemn you." You know. So we really live those words of what Christ supposed to have said according to the Bible. Then we can actually help heal from pain and hardships and not cause hardship and pain for someone else. And that's why I love about this community, this church here, is because it's always about love. No matter what your path is, no matter what you see. But we can always learn from pain and hardship because I have learned not to judge people harshly. I have learned to love people unconditionally. And it's kind of hard because we have someone in the White House who causes so much pain and hardship for everyone else. And people support it like he's tearing families apart. That's causing pain and hardship for immigrant families. You're seeing ICE agent with masks and glasses on, tearing families apart. The little kids don't know if their parents will be there. That is hardship. And I say, we're learning a lot. You can learn from pain and hardship of other people because when I look at the TV screen and see these families being torn apart, I can understand. I can feel their pain. I can feel their hardship. People say you never experienced that. I'm sorry. We have been. I'm a descendant of those who was enslaved. So hardships and pain has carried on for generations. So you don't have to experience exactly the life experience somebody else, but we all can come together and understand what pain and hardship is and how we can heal from that. And when I'm looking at these families, the reason why I do not condemn people, judge people, or vote for people who will make somebody else life hard is because I've been in those shoes before. So that's the healing aspect and the learning aspect of it. But what do you have to add to it? 'Cause I'm not going to ramble and talk.
Yes, you are.
Welcome everyone. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at it. There's no way for me to read your comments unless I walk around there and look and see what your comments are. Normally, Dominion, and Pink Crystal will look at the comments on their phone. And I have notes on my phone, so I see there's a lot of people coming in and commenting. Thank you guys for coming in. And again, we have a special guest, Denise. She has tons and tons of knowledge about pain and healing and hardships. She discussed more so about her lived experiences. But thank you for coming in. If you're saying something, I can't read it unless I get up. I don't want to maybe I can get up and read some of your comments from the screen. But if y'all have experience or lived experience, if y'all know anything, if you want to gain or add to the topic, go right ahead. Comment. Other people see your comment, that means I'll have to get up and read them. Don't cause me pain, okay? Don't cause me pain, because these knees, they're not young like they used to be, okay? I'll be 35 next month, and the knees feel like they're 45, okay? There we go. Hardship and pain right there. I'm healing from that. But keep sharing your life experience. Trust us. We all have lived experience dealing with hardship and pain. And I'm finding out that pain can be a good teacher. Hardship can be a good teacher because we're learning from these things. And with life, it's the opposite. It gives you the test first, then the lesson afterwards.
I don't know about anybody else, but I find my best lessons were painful. Well, in my life, we call those fuzzy bunnies. The people there, everything is unicorn farts. the people that are always fuzzy bunny and unicorn farts, the people that are always talking about you think positive and good things will happen to you. Life is not like that.
Yeah. They say you manifest all the goodness of positive.
And then goodness will come to you. It does not work like that. I understand manifesting. I had new moon and manifesting, and I believe that good things can come to you and you can manifest, but it's not going to be like that all the time. That it just doesn't work that way. Most of my best lessons have been learned from hardship. If nothing else, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to make those mistakes anymore, but that was a very good lesson, that things that were difficult for me were learned from hardship. The relationships I had, the home I haven't had before. I have 4 rules in my life. Oprah had 200 rules in her life that from things she learned. I only have 4. I only have 4 because they come back and they loop back on each other. And the first one that was very hard to learn because it takes a lot of practice is choose to be amused. Mm-hmm. I can laugh at some of the worst, most terrible stuff. Mm-hmm. And people will think I'm crazy. And it takes some practice. It really does take some practice. And sometimes I can't laugh right away because it's too painful. But later on I can look back and it's like, well, at least the roof didn't fall on me. Or something like that.
Right.
And I know you've heard me do it,
Trust me, I have.
Yeah.
I really have.
Yeah, I can laugh at some pretty horrific stuff. In fact, I had stage 4 skin cancer at one point in time, and I was all by myself. I had nobody around me, and I had Facebook at the time, and I kind of made an announcement, and people were just coming back and not saying very much, and I felt very alone. And I had nobody to take me for my surgery or anything like that, and I was making a joke out of it. A white woman like me only comes in 2 colors, white and lobster. And somebody said, how could you laugh about that? That's terrible. Cancer is a horrible thing. Mm. Cancer is terrible. And I actually lost friends because I was laughing about it. I think, well, other people have people rally around them when they have cancer. I lost friends. Mm. That's a special skill.
I don't know if I'm supposed to laugh or...
Well, there you go. There you go.
I'm not laughing at her when she went through that.
Yes, you are. It's a special skill I have, that I can have cancer and lose friends.
Okay. I guess their perspective is like, okay, you're supposed to be sad.
I'm still here. I am still here. Rule number 2 is live in gratitude. I had cancer and I'm still here.
See, look at that. Learn from pain.
I am still here. I had cancer and I'm still here, and I can laugh about having cancer. I can laugh about having cancer.
It makes me want to laugh.
Well, yeah, there you go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, you had cancer. You're still here. Well, look at that. See, we're doing it. This is evident that we're healing.
Yeah, it's a humongous scar too. I felt like Raggedy Ann where I couldn't lift my arm. I know that surgeon, when he sewed down my arm, he said, "What'd you do?" And I said, "I sew." And he said, "They'll come out." And I said, "No, you sewed down my arm." And never mind. But yeah, but no, I'm still here. And the other part of that 3rd rule is nothing changes, but things change. Mm. Don't think about that too hard, because it's true. Nothing changes, but things change. If you don't do anything about it, it will change anyway. Ah. Like who we have in office. But anyway. We didn't do anything about our government, so we have what we have. Nothing changes, but things change. And if we don't do anything about it, nothing changes, but things change. We're going to have what we've got going forward because we didn't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So don't think about that too hard. But nothing changes, but things change. Things are going to change whether you do anything about it or not. Things are going to change. Nothing changes, but things change.
Got it. It's like I could see like a storm happening. So if you sit outside and do nothing, and the rain's not gonna change the mind of coming. It's gonna still rain and thunderstorm.
And you're going to get wet.
And you'll get wet. Or maybe you're shocked.
And the fourth one is this too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
Nothing
I
is
felt
always
that.
good. Nothing is always bad.
Oh, this too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
That's
It
really
will
hard.
never always be fuzzy bunny and good stuff or terrible stuff. It's always going to pass.
That's
And it all
powerful.
looks back on itself. You're not always going to be able to laugh. You're not always going to feel grateful. It's all going to come back around.
I like that. This too shall pass.
Yeah, 4 rules. And they all take practice.
Yeah, because I think whenever you're in a situation or hardship, you be asking yourself, why me? And I heard somebody talking about, well, why not you? You know, some people say that. And I'm like, what do you mean by why not me? It's me. Why not you? Everyone goes through it. Everyone has to go through pain. Everyone goes through hardship. And there's no one on this earth who never experienced hardship or pain. Never. Even rich people. Even the billionaire. Even, I don't want to say it, Trump. I'm pretty sure he goes through some pain and hardships, despite he doing it to other people. And part of me want to say he's getting karma back.
Well, you know, when you
Blessed
have money,
be.
it's a different type of suffering that you're just. Those of us without it aren't aware what that feels like.
I can only speculate for a rich person to feel pain and hardship, because if they see their stock dropping, all that's painful for them, and they feel like they're going through some hardship because they're losing money. But people who has no money like that, you know, who've been living from paycheck to paycheck, we look at them like, oh, that's the most stupidest shit ever.
But can you imagine, on the other hand, if you have some money and you have people always coming with their hand out because you have and they don't, what it's like to have people coming with their hand out, thinking you can help them all the time, and not how do you decide who you're going to help and who you're not going to help, and can you do that? So it's a different type of
Ball game.
yeah. And I keep hearing that if I had money, I would. Would you? Really?
Some people will say, yeah, if I had $1 million, I would save the whole. We can't save the whole. Here's a painful thing. Here's a hardship for us. If we were to become millionaires, multimillionaires, and get money, we still will not be able to help change everything.
Nothing changes, but things change.
Yes, it changed because I became more wealthy, but still I will not be able to change other people's lives. I can help some people, but I cannot help all people. Yes, we can try to make policies and policies and laws to help out, but do you know it's kind of hard for, I'm not a millionaire or anything like that, but it's probably hard for them to try to figure out who the people they want to help. So you know what? They help themselves and they help their rich. In some cases.
It's called Schadenfreude. Yeah.
What?
Schadenfreude.
I don't know.
That's for people who are jealous that you have something that you don't have, so you go. You wish them harm because they have what you don't.
See, and that goes back to that lady when she was praying.
You ever want to ram that? You ever want to see that Benz get in a car accident? That's Schadenfreude.
I want that Benz to be destroyed. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it wrong for me to want to tell that lady to shut up? Shut your mouth, okay? Because you know you're not doing it for the love of God. You're doing it to make people feel bad. And you want to pray for me? I'm sorry. No one can pray for me with that type of spirit. I can't. I go to a lot of churches. I just can't. I cannot sit there and have many people praying for me because I don't know what their intentions are. Your intention may see me like I could probably look at somebody and remember them from high school, and they may have a grudge against me because I was probably who I was, and they probably went, "Oh, let me pray for you." I don't know if they pray my downfall or hardship or more pain, but hey, what I saw Color Purple. I don't know if you use Color Purple, but the new one came out. When Silly said to Mister, "What's already done to me has already been done to you." Oh damn! Well damn. Well, from now on, I'm gonna wish people the best of luck.
Well, you know, being pagan, they say, "Can I pray for you?" And say, "Yeah, I'll dance naked in the woods for you." By the way, I don't do that, but it's a good joke.
But okay, I might have to get up and read some of these comments. I heard somebody say they making some comments. Let's see. Don't laugh at me when I get up here because this is recorded, so people will see this on YouTube and shit like that. I'm cussing. Jesus. So Crystal Lee says, "Hi guys." Everyone say hi. Hey, our co-host is live and speaking. Oh, commenting. Love the hat. Your hat, not mine. We both had hats, and I know he's talking about you. Uh-oh, I can't even go up. Yeah. Uh-oh. All right, yeah. Whew. My back is in pain, y'all. That's hardship. That was bending over. I don't normally do that.
They got a good shot of your nose.
I hope it's clean. I hope. Let me look. Yeah, we good. I did it after the fact. Oh God! All right.
Carter's one of my favorite people.
Yes. Sent from our gods and goddesses. But let me see. So pain is a teacher and not just a burden for us. So what I'm learning about pain in our conversation so far is that it teaches us or gives us lessons about being more resilient, setting up boundaries, and showing our true strength. Because I forgot we have another guest. Her name is Esme.
This is Esme.
This is Esme. And I'm pretty sure Esme can, if she had a human voice and talked to us, she'd probably tell us about pain and hardships. Because you want to talk more so about Esme and how you got Esme?
Esme is supposed to be in training to be a service dog, but I don't know if she's going to fail or not. I am a disabled vet, and I had a service dog about 3 years ago, and she passed away. I had her for 13 years, and I was looking for another one or something like that, and I was at the Council on Aging, which is kind of in the area here, and I just thought I'd wander across the street to the pound to see what dog was in the area, what was around, and she had just been picked up. And I had to wait 5 days to adopt her, and they called me, and yeah, I've had her now for about 2 months, and they say 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months for a dog's personality to emerge, and we're coming up on 3 months. So her little personality is emerging, and she's a runt Jack Russell, and she's a handful. But everybody at the church, my tribe, the church loves her, and I let my tribe pet her, and they all know her, and she is pretty attached to me. But she is a good.
She's playing with her hand, you guys.
She's, in terms of pain and comfort and things like that, she's amazing. And in terms of working on pain, this is a dog or an animal, a pet, is excellent for pain and amusement. That this is a pet is a good resource for pain.
Yeah, because I know that a lot of people see their pets as family members, not just pets, but family members.
Right.
And it's really important.
Right.
I have pets. I wish I would have a dog, but right now, not right now. I can't have one. But one day, eventually, when I'm more stable, I would get a dog. I don't know what type yet. But I heard that they're really good service animals and good for, people who are living with ailments and people who can have emotional issues. Well, I wouldn't say issues, it's like it comes naturally. Anyone can have emotional pain and it can go down from there. So, mental health is important. This is why we're talking about hardships and pain, because it's part of understanding and recognizing that hardships and pain can cause people to have mental health issues or situations, or how the terminology is. I'm not 100% politically correct. I try to be. It's a full-time job. Try to be understanding, which is real good. But yeah, animals can help people deal with pain and hardships, and they're a way of healing. Because sometimes humans are full of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just letting you guys know. Some people are just full of it.
And for anybody that wonders, a service dog, one of the difference between a service dog and an emotional support dog is, sometimes when you take a service dog into a place like a church, is you have to have full control over the dog. And part of the reason why I'm afraid Esme may fail is that she's pretty stubborn, and I have to train her better because I don't completely have control over her. She doesn't listen. And neurosis goes up and down the leash, by the way. And I'm not sure I can train her to obey the command she needs to be a good service dog. So I don't know if that's going to work. We'll see.
We'll see. We definitely will see.
Yeah, we will see.
But by looking at it, I would say, from my experience, dealing with hardships and pain,
Right.
I believe that every scar carries wisdom,
Right.
in a sense.
Right.
And it's not wasted wisdom, because you're learning from your pain, you're learning from your hardships, you're learning how to gain these wisdoms. Because if you do not have any pain or hardships, how will you benefit and encourage other people? That's why you have motivational speakers who've been through so much stuff in their life.
Right.
And they're turning their pain, their hardship into something they can use to help heal other people, help spread love. It's mainly about love when you heal yourself, and you want love. But at the end of the day, learning about pain and hardships and learning to use those as tools to heal yourself, it's like at the end you'll find love. Because you're like, well, I did not love where I was before. I'm loving where I'm at. But in order for you to get to where you're at, you have to appreciate the things you came from. So we're coming from some pain, we come from some hardship, but we're learning so much through this journey called life. We might not never get it, and it's okay. That's why I'm running through the healing process. It's okay. I might not get everything in this reality, this side of heaven, or whatever people want to say. Maybe I'll find it when I die. I don't know. I mean, I might be just dead. I don't know.
And sometimes you never know when you'll touch somebody.
Mm-hmm.
What your pain, when or how your pain will touch somebody.
Mm.
In my life, I've been stunned all the time. I've not had the opportunity to have, how do I say this? I have moved so much that I don't get to see the outgrowth of the results of touching somebody very often. But I'm pretty sure that I do, because I think I touch people and then I move.
Mm. So
I don't get to see. But I'm pretty sure I do, because my experiences have been so strange that I meet people all the time, so I've never met anybody that had that experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never met anybody that had the experience that you do. I've never met anybody that has moved as many times as I have. You know, you've moved more than I have, but I've never met anybody who moved as many times as I have. By the way, I've moved 60 times in my life. I'm 65 years old, and I've moved 60 times in my life.
Oh, okay. And I'm still stuck here in Greenville, North Carolina. What are you barking, growling?
That's you.
You see yourself? You barking at her? There's some pain for you.
F.
I guess what I can say, learning from pain and hardships, is teaching you not just resilience and strength and boundaries. It's teaching you how to transform. This is a transforming experience, and one thing in order for you to understand or transform from hardship and pain is to look at it honestly. When you look at your pain honestly, I would say healing requires honesty about pain. You have to look at it and call it what it is and name it what it is. And once you start looking at it and analyzing the pain, analyzing the hardship, what you're going through, then you will be able to start having that transformational healing. So the first step to me is, you got to name what the pain is. What's causing your pain? What's heartache? Because I know a lot of people I have conversations with before, they have lived experiences where they had a family member touch them and they carry that baggage on into adulthood. I have people who has always been moving, not because they wanted to, because the family always have to move, so they have that, they feel that insecurity or whatever. Mm-hmm. Trauma. People are living with trauma, and some of that trauma comes from the youth when they're young, and some of them don't even know how to address it. So I know a lot of people who told me their stories and lived experiences where it impacts them when they're young, but it still impacts them now. And a lot of people do not know how to go forward. They don't know how to move from that hardship pain that caused them that. But no one taught them that. So now they have to learn how to heal. And how you heal is first recognizing it, naming it. And that takes work. This takes work. You may not do it in a day or a week or a month. It can take years to address it. Address the trauma, the hardship, the pain. But when you start addressing it and naming it what it is and finding tools and resources to help you, which is why it's really important to have mental health professionals, talking to people about it and not dealing with it yourself, because it's only going to hurt you even more. There's an analogy that I like to talk about. It's like the Buddha, he was saying, like, when you hold hot coal and you are so angry with somebody else, you're looking to throw that coal at somebody. Meanwhile, you're burning yourself holding on to it. Just let it go. And letting it go doesn't mean you're letting it all go. What it represents and what it symbolizes is letting go of the pain and understanding it. Now you have to address the burnt mark in your hand because you hold on to that coal. Now you're in the hardship of pain because you held on to it and it was burdening you because you were so angry with somebody else that you want to throw it at someone and cause them pain. What you trying to cause to other people, it happens to you. Just like Cindy said on The Color Purple, what's done to me, it's already done to you. Until you do right by me, everything you... I'm sorry, that movie's all in my head. But it teaches us, Color Purple teaches us, and I'm always going there now, because when I looked at the movie, how much pain and hardship Silly went through, the main character, what she went through. She got impregnated when she was really young by a grown-ass man. To me, that's pedo. Give me pedo vibes. And it was, in my head. And she had to carry a child at a young age. And when she gave birth, the dad took the baby away from her. And she never had the time to connect with that. So she always dealt with pain. When I looked at Color Purple, all I saw was pain and hardships. That's like the best movie for this conversation topic. Because Silly went through so much as a woman, a black poor woman in the 1900s. I don't know when it was, 1906, I believe. Between there, it was the 1900s. But when you looked at what she went through as a black person, and matter of fact, you can connect it to women, period. The suffrage movement, when you just wanted to vote, want to live free and have the exact same liberties as men, and how many men got in the way. We're looking at that now in this current climate environment. We're saying women rights being taken away. Roe versus Wade has been taken back. It's like it's making it hard for women to have access to health care because a lot of people want to cause people pain. They think they're doing it for a good reason, but they're causing a lot of people pain and
We're moving
hardship.
backwards, period.
We're moving backwards.
Moving backwards.
But guess what? We will learn from this hardship as Americans start realizing what's going on. We will learn from this hardship, and we can begin healing the nation. So we will learn from this painful hardship, this orange ship, and every family, like I was telling about the immigrants and them tearing families apart. The right side of the politics are, and I'm not saying that the left doesn't do it, but it's mainly the right side. It's always about family values. But they're not really about family values because the only family values they're worried about is white family values, Republican family values, their niche of family values. They don't care about the immigrants or the people of color or the gay people who are all families. They have a unique structure, unit of family. A lot of people don't feel like a man and having kids, they're not a family. I believe they are a family. I mean, they're providing for kids, they're giving the kids emotional, financial support, and they're trying to look out the well-being of the kids that they have. And I think I was talking to y'all about it earlier today, and how so many people, it's like heterosexuals who has issues with gay people, talking about they want to protect kids. Well, the foster care system have over 200,000 kids in foster care. Why are they not going there and picking them up? They get upset when gay people is adopting kids. But who did that 200,000 people come from? Kids come from heterosexual family people. And yes, there's some circumstances, I understand, but a lot of them just, wow. It's crazy because you feel that gay people shouldn't have kids, but you're the ones that's putting them in the foster. I'd rather for them to be in a home by loving adults, consensual loving adults, than them stand inside a system where a lot of them kids experience abuse, mistreatment, and feel like they're unloved and unwanted. I'd rather for them to be with someone like that. Because the right-wing people are not helping it out. They're taking resources from women, they're taking resources from gay people, they're taking resources from children. We just had a mass shooting. A lot of people is dealing with a lot of pain right now and hardship. A mass shooting of another white man. Some people say they're trans. I don't know. I'm not 100% on that story, but I know that that person, that being, was white who caused somebody else pain. And we know mass shootings overwhelmingly, facts and data and figures show this, overwhelmingly are white males. But when it's somebody of a marginalized group, they lump us all together. Like, see how they do it? But when it comes down to white males, it's always a lone wolf or, oh, they had a mental health issue. They give sympathy to white men, but not LGBT people, not women, not Muslims, not minorities. They lump us all together. Like, when I say all together, I mean all black people together, all Muslims together. They are terrorists. And no matter what the label is, the facts is right there. The most likely people to be victims of pedophilia is girls, done by white men who hold leadership roles and are part of Christian churches who are causing so much pain and hardship for these families and girls. And boys too, so I'm not saying that they just do it, but majority of the studies show that white straight men are the perpetrators in those sexual abuse crimes and pedophilia. So let's talk about the real facts and how they're causing so much pain, because there was a story of she was young, she got married, she was molested by her pastor, and as she got older, her husband that she married, she opened up to her husband. He did not know that about his wife. And it was hard for her. So that's hardship and pain for her. Mm-hmm. The fact that you have to be vulnerable and name it, what happened, so you can address it. She ended up got the courage, and her husband supported her, and they went to the church where the man was who was preaching at the time, and went up there and shared their story. And it's kind of hard for me to ignore the fact that the church went around the pastor and started praying for him and left that woman who was the true victim and her husband to the side to cry and weep. That's callous. That's not loving to me. They are quick to condemn women, quick to condemn gay people, black people, but the real valid people or the real perpetrators in these incidents are white men. Y'all want to run behind them and pray for them. What about the woman who's dealing with all that pain? And her husband who has to sit there and hold her while the church and the congregation went around the pastor and started praying for him as if he was the victim. I give her credit because first, she named her pain and her hardship. She was vulnerable, she transformed from the experience, and she got courage and strength that she actually talked into fighting the man, and the church went behind the support of the pastor. I can't comprehend or conceive that. Maybe there's something wrong with me. I don't think there's nothing wrong with me, by the way, in that sense. But to see that woman, her hardship and pain, and her facing her abuser, and the abuser got support, that probably ripped her even more. This is a true story. Not recently. It recently happened, maybe a few years ago. But these are constant stories, you know. And it's sad. It really is sad. Other people's causing other people hardships and pain. And you don't wish the bad on other people, but I'm to the point where I'm like, you know what? May they get the exact same thing. May karma come back for them 10 times. Maybe that's the wrong way of thinking.
Well, I was looking recently, in fact it was last night, about the silence around some of that type of pain. the silence that you're not allowed to speak. That particularly women, although I don't think I think it might exist around in the gay and queer community too, that you don't speak because you can't. There's a silence. There's a pain in a silence that you can't. You don't speak because you can't. Why bother? If you do, the silence is part of the pain.
Yeah.
The silence is part of the pain. Being a veteran at one point in time, I'm still doing it. The cadences that I marched to as one of the last WAC classes, WAC being Women's Army Corps, they quit calling it that back in 78. I don't know. I was told I was the last WAC class. I don't think, and I found out that wasn't quite true, which was just one of the lies I was told back then. I marched to some pretty disgusting cadences. I mean, they were terrible, really bad. The things that they made us march to, the things they made us say out loud in a marching in cadences, or you march to those, or a rhythm. They were disgusting. I mean, men had marching cadences too, but they were sexually explicit. And I was 18, just out of high school, and a good, upstanding Christian girl. And you know what? I went back to look at those cadences. I can't find any of them. You can find them for guys, but women are not, you can't find what the women march to. Why is that?
They try to get rid of it.
Because the women won't say anything.
It's sad because a lot of victims, people...
The guys will, because they're used to locker room talk. The women won't say anything.
Because I think, like, when it comes out like sexual assault or something like that, a lot of women choose not to go to the police because they might not be believed sometimes, in some cases.
When I went to get my disability, they said, "Why didn't you call the police?" Excuse me?
They victim blame. It's a lot of victim blame, so a lot of people do not say
Well,
anything.
why don't you go to the police? Because in the military, the police are the police. You can't just call 911. It's called military police.
The military are the police.
The military are the police. You can't, I couldn't believe it. What do you mean, why don't I call the police? The military are the police. What's wrong with you people? Are you stupid? Yeah. You are. But they actually told me, they said, why didn't you call the police? Never mind.
It's a lot of systemic. I think it's systemic for women and people of color and gay people.
But
It's a lot of them do go silent and don't talk about their pain until much years later.
but it's a pain. It's silence.
Mm-hmm.
Silence. You can't. It's like I said. Why? Silence. It's less painful not to say anything.
So
Why do you stay in the closet? Silence.
In a way, you're denying yourself, though, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You're in the closet.
Is that what
because
they're
it's-
hoping? Is to not you deny
Yeah.
your, no matter what traumatic experience you have, they're hoping that you deny yourself and be silent and shut up.
Yeah.
That's like a few sexual molestation that happens to families. The victim is silenced, and the perpetrator, live their
Yeah. A
life.
lot of cases, they hope you die first.
That's sad, and that's
That's what they did with vets in Vietnam. They hope with Agent Orange, they hope they died first. My dad did.
Mhm.
They'd hope he died first, and he did. You just shut up and die first. That's what lynchings were. Die first. Nobody said anything. Right?
right.
Nobody said
And
anything.
it put fear
That's
in
what
other
Emmett
people.
Till was. She said, "No, I want you to see him.
Mm.
Open that coffin. Look at my son. This is what you did. No, I'm not going to shut up. Look at him."
They was hoping for, and that's why a lot of them was like the Emmett Till case. If y'all know who Emmett Till was, a young 14-year-old who went to the South, and the allegations of it wasn't consistent with the victim. In this case, Emmett Till was the real victim. The white lady that they claimed he did all this stuff to, or Wilson, or did all, her story was changing. She actually told the truth when she was fucking about to die. Well, you should have said these years ago. But the mother made the world, the United States, to see her child. They told her, no, don't do that. No, don't do that. She went, yes, we are going to do it. And that takes courage. That takes strength and resilience. Because her going through that hardship and pain of her losing her son, and that was her only son when that occurred.
And he was only 14.
He was a 14-year-old. And they did what they did to them. And the people who did that, I think they said that they got reparations for what was going on. Like, they got money for that. After it was several people who was involved. But imagine the hardship and pain for that mother to heal. That was actually a healing moment to actually, like you said, when they wanted her to be silent, they actually tried to make her be silent. They told her not to show him, not to do this, and she did the opposite. She spread the word so everyone could see it. And that was a really strong,
And he was beat badly.
really bad shot. I think she was shot
Yeah,
in his head. And
that body was he was tortured. And he was beaten really badly.
it's sad when they, it's crazy because she said the only way she can remember what her son is by, she said she touched his body all the time and she knows parts of him. That's how she knew they were her son. And that's seeing the pain, learning from the hardship, and growing and healing from that. It was a healing process because she wanted people to see this, what happened.
That's a good example of touching people you'd never know. And historically, that's that story makes a big impression on me.
Yeah, and I think you can learn from other people because
Oh,
my that was like you learn from that experience or that story. I'm learning about a lot of stories from women who've been through so much pain and sexual abuse
Right.
and assault,
Right.
and I'm learning from gay people. Not all gay people. Gay people are not the product of molestation. Some of them were touched, yes, some. But a lot of people are, I think, naturally are gay. But I think molestation does occur. It does happen to both sexes, but it's way more females. Because I think I heard a story where it was like, the reason why she didn't say anything, she felt that that girl did sit there and let that happen because she said she felt that was her place to do, for them to touch on her. She felt that was her place, like that's what she was supposed to go through, and that's not what she's supposed to have experienced. And it's sad that too many girls are experiencing that. They felt that, wow, I felt that was the natural thing for me to do because that's what I was taught. So, but the fact that she opened up and addressed her pain, her hardship, she started healing from it. Now she realized, no, that's not how it's supposed to happen. This is when she was a lot younger. But as she got older and mature, she started teaching little girl stuff. That no, tell people about your body parts. Use your actual words for your body parts. So when an adult touch you in that area, you will be able to describe it to another adult. So she learned from her lesson, her hardship and pain, to teach it to someone else and other people.
Yeah, but I think sexual assault from men with other men, I think the shame and the silence is actually might be, I think it's wrong to compare them because they're just different. But I think the shame and the expectation is, it's different, but the expectation of men being able to handle it, to be macho, to be different than they are, is the shame and the silence is, it's similar but it's different because men can't say anything for their reasons, just like women can't say anything for their reasons. But they both have gender reasons why they can't say anything, but it's the silence is the problem. And the silence is the pain. In the military, the men, stinky dog, talk about pain. In the military, men won't turn in other men because they're men, and men don't do that to men, so they don't say anything because they're turning on their buddies, and men, it's disloyal. It's disloyal. No, it's wrong. And it's still rape. So they're quiet. They don't say anything. And it's still silence. And it's still shame. And it's still somebody was victimized.
Yeah.
And it's still somebody, there's a victim and there's still somebody in pain.
I agree. So I can get from this, avoiding pain delays healing, in that sense.
Right.
So what I said was avoiding pain delays healing, and confronting creates freedom. So when you're confronting that and you're finally speaking out about it,
Right.
you actually are trying to create freedom and liberation for yourself and other people who may go through that.
And part of it was naming it.
And naming it.
Naming it.
You have to name it. You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think a lot of sexual assault
It takes
victims
courage to name it. It's really hard. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I looked at Color Purple, I mean, how she felt, she named it. She actually stood up to her husband.
Yeah, and sometimes naming it make sure you have somebody to talk to, like maybe even a therapist. Naming it can be really rude.
Yeah, it can be hard, but it's calling it what it is honesty. You have to be honest about it so you can address and have the resources you need to heal. And I would say that we're learning these as we grow
Right.
into our becoming. As we grow into our becoming. Because I will never stop becoming something. I know that for a fact. I keep on changing. Going through trying to realize how to heal, because I know that some pain that I had experienced in my heart, in my life, and hardship I experienced, the co-hosts know this, but there was a time when I was dealing with something for years, and I opened up to Pink Crystal and Dominion at the time, and I actually had a breakdown one time, and my sister came in and told me, "You need to stop crying about this. We are getting over it." Some people will help bring it out of you, even though you're not ready. They will help bring that strength out of you, right? My sister has always been a strong supporter. And the thing that I found out is I started learning it and dealing with my brokenness. Because when I start loving my brokenness and bringing it to the light, the sharp pieces of my brokenness to the light, I start seeing the beauty of it. That's the healing factor of it, right? So I'm starting to heal from everything, learn from it. So one day I was like, you know what, you guys, this is article I wore. I have a scarf that I would like to burn because they remind me of my past. And I would like that article burn. And they actually cut up a fire, and I remember placing it there and letting it all go. It was a sign for me of transformation and healing process to begin. Because the longer you hold on to it, you're being resistant to the healing process. And if you want to start healing and loving yourself more, name it, work towards it, and recognizing what it is, and start working from there. It's going to continue to be a process, this healing thing. But it's a way of loving yourself when you want to heal badly. And when you do that, you are able to do what Emmett Till mom did, talk about it. Do what Silly did on The Color Purple, address it and live from it and start reaping the benefits of healing and fighting for yourself. Because one thing that she had a tough time in doing, according to the script in the movie, was she couldn't fight back like the other women around her. I keep on getting them mixed up. So, who was the lady? Oprah played for, the character was, Oprah had her, who was her name? I'm pretty sure somebody can probably tell me. Color Purple. They're silly. I saw the new one recently, and I can't remember. Oh my God! It's not silly, but it's the other lady who married the Mr. Son. Jesus. But she would constantly fight. And I guess Silly got one Emmy that in her that she can fight and she couldn't. So that was an inspiration. And what's the other? Oh my God, the other lady with red dress. I'm messing their names up. But she also inspired her to fight back and claim your pain. And she did it. That's a liberation story. How all the things she benefited from. Towards the end of the movie, she got to see her kids that was taken away from her because the whole time she thought they were dead. She thought her sister was dead. But Missy kept the letters and come to find out her kids was with her sister the whole time. And that was a point of her healing, knowing that her sister lives and her kids live. And that one day when she saw they were sitting at the table and she stood up to Mister in front of everybody and she got away. She walked away from her and she learned from it. But these are incredible stories and experiences that she went through. I had some notes, and I was trying to look at my notes, but then again, the conversation got good, so I didn't look at the notes like I wanted to. But one of the other ones I like is pain breaks illusions and reveals the truth. And hardship strips away what's false, comfort, pride, or illusion of control. It forces us to see what truly matters and what we must let go. The other one is transformation through the wound. Wounds can become openings for compassion, empathy, and love. The wound is where light enters. That's healing from it. The wound is where light enters. Pain creates space for healing energy. And I love energy. I don't know if you know this of me. I'm a really spiritual person. So I like energy, try to be more positive, try to look at things differently and work. Love is the highest energy. Healing is part of that. And that's where I want to be at. So it's kind of hard to come from dogmatic religious belief to a more liberating spiritual awakening and realizing that what that dogma told you and try to construct in your mind is wrong. You no longer have to believe that. You do not have to believe in that. It's love and life outside of dogma. They tell you that in order for you to gain that happiness and love, you have to do things a certain type of way. Live a certain type of way. You will not reap the goodness and the blessings. And I'm saying you can. I outgrew the black church. I'm no longer constrained there. I'm no longer seeing myself as a sheep. I don't go around bad and there's a shepherd. I no longer need that. I have learned that. Use my brain, use the tools, use the resources outside of that. And I have seen a lot of people still being judgmental online and, making things hard for people. But understanding that I can transform through those wounds because yes, I've been through a lot, physically, emotionally, even spiritually. How people have talked to me and downplayed me and made me feel a certain type of way. I'm starting to find the beauty in my brokenness, and that's all right. That's the healing part. That's the transformation part. That's the resilience part for us, and we're learning how to do that. Whenever you have that, you can use pain as a fuel to grow. You're growing and you're healing that way. So, yeah, you want to add anything? Because I can ramble all the time about healing and loving, and then all this is so good to me. Good. I know Esme's falling asleep.
You know, I'm also into astrology myself. And you know, pain and Saturn is law. And it also has a tendency, I have a tendency to equate it with pain, because in my life it's like Saturn's over here, and tragedy and drama and hardship have a tendency to come around at the same time. And in my life, it feels like bricks falling down around my head. But it also has a tendency to be something. It's a lesson. It's a learning. It's paying your dues sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it feels like. It's paying your dues. It's like going to college and taking those prerequisite classes that really suck.
That was a pain and hardship right there.
Yeah. That you can't get away from them. They're required. But you're not going to graduate without them. It's kind of like the rite of passage. And it's just something that you've got to learn. I've talked to people about karma, and if you don't learn this lesson, you're just going to have to come back and do it again. And I'm not sure I quite agree with that necessarily, because in my life, I don't think it's because I didn't learn. It's just part of my path. It's part of my tuition. It's part of my maybe I'm at graduate level now, that I've got to do more prerequisites, I've got to keep going. Once I get past the graduate, I got to get my PhD, and it's going to still suck, and then I'm going to have to do the doctorate thesis. I never stop learning. And the learning is, I learn best when it's hard. And I don't want to say it's not because I'm not very bright, but maybe it is because I learn best when it's hard. And now that I found a tribe that I really like, it gives people an opportunity to help me and teach me and make things and teach me as well. I've never had that in my life. Is I found a place where people can come forward and teach me differently, which is another path in healing I have not experienced before. To have another opportunity to do things differently.
That's good. I see what you're saying with that experience.
Yeah. Einstein says, doing the same thing over and over again, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again.
And guess what? I think a lot of people got so stuck in that cycle of doing things over and over when it comes down to pain, that, like you said, they still haven't learned the lesson, I guess. But it's like you keep doing the exact same pain after pain after pain. It's like, what are you learning? What do I have to gain from this, right? Because sometimes our life experience is not just for us; it's medicine for somebody else.
But my answer to if you do the same thing over, and what happens if you do the same thing over and over again and get different results, what happens if you do it over and over again and get different results?
Well, I'm not a philosopher, so.
Well,
I'm like,
if the opportunity is different, if you can learn a different lesson in different environments,
mm-hmm.
which is where I am now. As much as I've moved, I have a different opportunity now.
Yeah.
I have a different opportunity now. Some of the pain's still there, but I have a different opportunity now, and I have different people that are willing to help me that I've never had before.
I guess you can, like, when I took my notes on, is like, from my life experience, you can turn your pain to a purpose. A lot of artists and a lot of dreamers, a lot of people actually went through a lot of hardships and pain.
Mm-hmm.
So they turned that pain into a purpose and inspiration for other people. Artists may have experienced a bad traumatic experience and they become the best artists or healers. People who have went through the most traumatic experience are the most people who can heal and be a healer and give healing advice and give them life again, other people. That's a way of, connecting to their wounds and, hey, I can use this to help somebody else and help them heal. We're finding out.
Sometimes resources, if you don't have resources, you can't make resources just fall out of the sky. If you haven't got them,
Mm-hmm.
Like Martin Luther King says it, if you haven't got boots, you can't pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Boy, I'm big on cliches today. But if you haven't got boots, you can't pull yourself up by the bootstraps. And if you're, being grateful is the one thing you can be. The part of my 4 rules is being gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
You can always find something to be grateful for.
Every morning.
Something
Every morning
to be grateful for. I like this color green. There's something that you can be grateful for. But if you haven't got resources, sometimes healing is really hard. But keep plugging, keep learning, keep going, keep keeping on. And things change.
Actually, that's one of my notes I took when you were talking about that. And I'm really good that you brought that point up. It's like I was saying, pain builds compassion and connection. So when we know we went through some hardships of pain, we can connect with people. And we can have compassion with other people around us, which is why when I look at TV and see the immigrant families being torn apart, I'm having compassion for them. The kids, we want to protect kids, but I'm not trying to protect certain kids because they're not living here. They're not from this country. My descendants, ancestry is not from this country. We was brought here involuntarily as slaves. We was enslaved here. And then we had to grow in this country who doesn't care too much for black people, doesn't care too much for people of color or immigrants or women or gay people. So I think we're learning how to connect through that pain and hardship as different communities. Yes, Denise is a white older lady and I'm a younger black man, but we still can find connections and compassion for each other. I don't know what it's like to be a woman and have the government all in my womb telling me what I can and cannot do. I don't have that experience like she does, but I can actually connect with her because as a black person and how racism is, we connect that even though those are a little different because one is based off gender or sex and the other one's based off race, we still have been wronged by a nation that says for liberty for all of us, that with freedom, liberty, and justice for all. But we know that's lying because it's not justice for a woman who has to carry a child that she doesn't really want. She can't take care of the child, or if it will cause her to die. Like recently in Georgia, there was a woman who was hooked up on life support just for her to have a child. She was already gone. That's pain and hardship for that family. Because they had to sit there and watch their daughter, their niece, their sister, their friend, their coworker, who's literally brain dead, suffer more and more just for them to have a child. And I don't think the child made it. I'm not sure. I can't remember if the child made it or she's still on life support. Got an update on that. But I don't know what it is as a black guy or a guy, period, to see that happen to women. which is why I voted the way I voted. So I had compassion enough in my learning experience and pain and hardship to have compassion and love for my neighbor. Love your neighbor as yourself. Like this is what I live on. I mean, I don't want to judge people. I don't want to condemn people. That's not my place to do that. I'm here to try to spread love the best way I can. And am I perfect? No, I'm not. But we can still connect on different levels through some of our purposes and pain and our hardships. It's like we're connecting, right? Am I sounding right? I'm sorry, my thing went off. But it's a way of telling our stories, I will say. So I'm listening to her story. She's listening to my story about hardship and pain. Y'all sharing y'all experiences as well. That actually helps us heal others too by learning from each other, connecting to each other. And that actually, in a way, pain can liberate. And it's liberating to me. Hardship dismantles harmful beliefs and practices we once clinged to. That's liberating for me because as I deconstruct from my old religious upbringing and evangelicalism and fundamentalist beliefs, I realize that when I treat people well and love them and not feel like I can get brownie points in order for me to secure a space in heaven, I can start dismantling those rigid beliefs and act out of love, compassion, and kindness. And I think that's where you will find Jesus. I won't say I'm a Christian. Christ never said you had to be a Christian. Never he said it in the Bible. But he does, tell us to love one another. And that's the best way to do it, is understanding people's experience. Listen to understand people's pain and how they can share their brokenness with your brokenness and how we can learn to heal with each other. Because through struggle, we discover freedom, justice, and a deeper spirituality. That's how I'm experiencing it. My spirituality is a journey where I'm learning how to heal and love and encounter other people where they are. And that's the best way to love somebody. Like, I had to break away from that dogma. Christianity told me that if you tell them and preach and apostatize to them, they don't get it, they're going to hell. I no longer believe that belief where I can condemn people to somewhere that I don't think it's good. I'm deconstructing a lot of parts of my old beliefs and faith and realizing that the best way you can help heal, the best way you can love your neighbor is helping them love, compassion, and help them heal. Like, I don't know, me going out and telling you you're going to hell because you're a pagan or how you believe you're a bad person and the devil is going to torture you.
Well, my friends are there. It's a party.
It's a party down there.
My friends are there.
But I think what we can actually learn is can't get over that. I think what we can learn from this is we are not supposed to condemn anyone. We're supposed to love our neighbor, no matter what their religious background is, no matter what their spirituality is, no matter who they are, what they believe in. Love is the highest thing, and I just want people to understand that love is a way of helping healing people and understanding their pain, their hardships. Because when we learn from our pain, our hardships, we're healing and we're loving. So that's why I want to be. I want to always try to love and try to be the best person I am. I don't want to make somebody else's life hard. I don't want to make somebody have pain. I try to be the best I can. The only people I probably cause pain is the bigots and hypocrites. I love calling out the hypocrites. Now, I'll do that quick. But it's those bigots and those racists and people who hate people just for their identity or believe differently, you got to come out of that. Come out there, check those chains. Liberate yourself from those chains. Because they're only holding you back. You get mad at somebody who's free. Which my friends, they get me. We're free. We getting freer and freer the more we heal and understand our hardships and loving each other, connecting each other on that. It's just so much. I just like this topic, this conversation. Thank you guys for joining in. If you have anything additional to say, go right ahead. Chime in. No, I think we're coming to our end. This was a good conversation. I don't know if y'all added, because I did not go back up there and start reading comments again. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's not my intent again. I had notes on my phone, so I couldn't be in two places at one time. Certainly I could. Doing that now, if you think about it.
Now you think about it.
Now I think about it towards the end. But again, thank y'all for tuning in and having this conversation with me and my special guest and our other special guest. She didn't add much to the conversation, but a few barks here and there.
Fart here.
Oh, Denise said a fart here and there too. I was hitting on laughter. Laughter is actually good medicine too. Laugh about things, like you said earlier. Sometimes I look at my past and my pain and hardships and actually laugh. And there's somebody out there judging somebody on Facebook. I look at their comments and start laughing because I used to be like that. Now I'm like, oh, well, I can laugh about it now.
Good for you.
Yes. So to everyone out there who's going through their path of learning their hardships and pain, know that the more you hold on to your pain and hardships, the more you resist the healing and transformation parts. So I would say start healing by addressing the pain, your hardship, and seeing them differently, and learning and using it as a purpose to, share love with other people. Because again, like I said, hardships and pain, we know that. That's a part of our experience. And I don't know anyone who doesn't learn from their lessons or their hardships, but the ground of your foundation had to be shaken up a little bit. It had to be fixed in order for you to have that strong foundation there. So start healing, start loving, and understanding that hardships and pain are not the enemy. They're your friends in the long run. So tune into us to the podcast next week with our other topic, and I'm hoping next weekend we will have the three people back together again, because it's been a while since we had a conversation. It's been a while since I've been on a podcast for personal reasons and life reasons, and dealing with Facebook and transitioning things. 2 weeks ago I was out of town. Last week we decided to go ahead and counsel everything, to get everything situated. I started a job, going back to school, teaching students. Yeah, hardship and pain. That's true hardship and pain. If y'all have not worked with students and youth, and y'all want to criticize us teachers, I'm a substitute, so I'm not an official teacher, but hey, it's kind of hard. It's hard. You gotta love your teachers, man. Gotta love your teachers. And those people who work with our kids. Jesus, help us. Be a fence around us all the time. Or look to the heavens and compare the astrologies and make sure, or spiritual person, wherever floats your boats, to help you heal and learn from your hardships and pain. Go right ahead. But tune into us next week, and we have another topic for you. See you next time. And we're out. If it plays. There we go.